Have you ever wondered how the seemingly weakest among us can sometimes outsmart the strongest, using nothing but, their wits?
Well, yeah, it happens in stories all the time.
Exactly. And today we're diving into a really captivating tale from Iranian folklore that does just that.
Yeah.
It throws together the most unlikely allies against, well, a pretty formidable foe.
Mm-hmm. We're exploring a traditional Iranian story featuring 4 animals. There's a goat, a dog, a lamb, and calf, and each one is facing their own vulnerabilities.
Right.
Which makes their eventual triumph, all the more compelling, really.
It really does. And our mission on this deep dive, dear listener, is to uncover the surprising turns, the valuable lessons about courage and unity, and the rich symbolism woven into this narrative. We're going to give you a concise but thorough understanding of this fascinating piece of Iranian storytelling.
So let's get into it. Who are these characters?
Okay, so first up, we have the goat. He's kind of seen as the elder because he has this distinctive white beard.
Okay.
And alongside him, there's a dog, a lamb, and a calf.
An interesting group.
Yeah, and what immediately grabs you is their shared problem, right? They're all sick.
Ah.
And because they're sick, their owners have basically abandoned them in the wild.
Oh, wow. So they're left to fend for themselves.
Imagine that, sick, alone. Seems pretty dire.
It really does. But, necessity often sparks ingenuity, doesn't it?
Yep.
And the story, it really shows how these, disparate creatures forged a bond out of that shared hardship.
Yeah, they had to rely on each other.
They found strength in numbers, eating together, sleeping, recovering together out there.
That initial unity, born from being vulnerable, that's actually a key insight right from the start, isn't it?
Definitely. A really important theme.
Okay, so they're getting better, regaining their health, and then one night, something kind of charmingly human happens.
Oh.
They get a craving for a hookah.
A hookah. Really? The animal?
Yeah. It's a little detail, adds a bit of whimsy,
Okay. I like that. So what do?
Well, it's the goat, the resourceful one, who takes charge. He sends the lamb off on a quest to find some fire.
Okay, the little lamb. Off into the dark.
Exactly. And the lamb spots a light in the distance.
Ah, rescue. Or...
Maybe not. Definitely not rescue. Here's where things take a decidedly dangerous turn.
Right.
The light isn't some welcoming campfire. It's a gathering of 12 wolves. Just keeping warm.
12? Oh, boy. Talk about stumbling into the lion's den.
Or the wolves' lair, yeah. Pretty bad luck for the lamb.
A really perilous discovery. And what's interesting is how the wolves react initially.
How so?
Well, they don't just attack. They actually deceptively invite the poor frightened lamb to join them.
Oh, cunning.
Very.
Yeah.
And the lamb, feeling trapped, basically complies. It kind of shows how predators can sometimes lull their prey,
Into a false sense of security. Yeah, I see that. So back with the others, worry starts to set in, I imagine.
Absolutely. The lamb's been gone too long, so the calf goes looking for him.
And lets me guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walks right into the same trap. Now the wolves have 2 captives.
This isn't looking good.
Not at all. And the pattern continues. The dog, loyal as ever, gets concerned.
Goes looking too.
Follows their trail, and boom, ends up right there in the middle of the wolves with the others.
So now it's 3 against 12. The odds are terrible.
Definitely stacked against them.
Okay, but what about the goat? The elder.
Right, the goat. He realizes his friends haven't come back, and he makes a pretty courageous decision, actually.
He goes after them.
He does, which says a lot about his sense of responsibility and, the strength of that bond they formed.
Absolutely. But what happens next is, well, it's kind of weird.
Very unexpected. On his way there, he somehow gets a wolf carcass stuck on his horns.
A whole carcass. How does that even happen?
The story doesn't dwell on the how, just that it happens. And what's even stranger is his reaction.
What does he do?
The story says he actually liked this.
He liked having a dead wolf stuck on his horns. That's bizarre. What could that mean?
Well, it suggests a shift, doesn't it? A change in his demeanor.
Yeah, like maybe the weight of it, the sight of it makes him feel different, more formidable.
Possibly. Like a physical sign of, I don't know, growing audacity, maybe?
Interesting. So he arrives at the wolves' gathering.
With this rather gruesome trophy on his head, immediately makes an impression, you'd think.
I'll bet. But he doesn't just rely on the look, does he?
Not at all. He's invited to sit, but instead he just launches into this tirade insults, and a completely made-up story.
Ah, the bluff. This is the core of it, right?
Absolutely, it's legendary. He claims the wolves' fathers owed him 20 wolves.
20.
Yeah. Says he's already devoured 7, points to the one on his horns as proof,
Wow.
and basically says the rest of them are next on the menu.
That is some serious confidence, or at least projected confidence. What does that tell us about facing fear?
Well, it suggests that sometimes just acting strong, even if you aren't, can be enough, you know?
Right. Deter those who rely on intimidation themselves.
Exactly. The wolves are just stunned by his sheer audacity and, well, the macabre evidence on his horns.
So he's run.
They immediately flee. Their fear completely overrides their numbers.
Amazing. Psychological tactics, winning out over brute strength.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, our 4 friends are reunited.
Mm-hmm.
Miraculously. Now they need to hide, right?
Right. They seek refuge, find a tree, and climb up, positioning themselves along the branches, a little spaced out.
Okay, safe for now.
You'd think, but the wolves, once they've retreated a bit, they start to, well, reconsider.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they realize they were terrified by just one goat.
Their pride is wounded.
Big time. So they decide to go back to the tree, gather underneath it, and discuss this embarrassing situation.
Well, this sounds like a bad idea for everyone involved.
And it leads to this almost slapstick moment.
What happens?
The calf, remember the calf? He's perched up there, maybe not too securely.
Don't tell me.
Loses his footing, tumbles down, bam, lands right on top of the wolves who are having their little meeting below.
No, the chaos.
Instant pandemonium, wolves scrambling everywhere, and the goat, quick thinker.
What does he do? Seize the moment?
Totally. He yells down, "Comrade calf, catch them! Hurry, friends, catch them!"
Making it sound like a planned attack.
Exactly. It just amplifies the wolves' fear tenfold. They think they're being ambushed again.
So they scatter. Again.
Like lightning. It's a brilliant example of turning a complete accident into an advantage.
Definitely highlights being adaptable, thinking on your feet. But the goat knows they might come back again, right? He seems pretty smart.
He is. He anticipates they'll return. So he comes up with an even more ingenious plan, a really clever deception.
Okay, what now?
He gets them to dig a hole, places the dog inside it,
Puts the dog in a hole. Why?
and then covers it, or mostly covers it, with bricks, creating what he grandly names the Shrine of the Holy Elder Kwakwala.
A fake shrine. At the dog inside.
Yep. It's pure theater, establishing this, seemingly sacred, powerful presence. It's brilliant.
What's the message there? Creating a believable illusion.
I think so. The goat gets that the wolves are driven by fear, maybe even superstition. He crafts something that plays right into that.
Okay, so the wolves are running away again.
Right, after the calf falling incident. And guess who they bumped into?
Oh, let me guess. The fox. The classic trickster.
You got it, Mr. Logic himself. The fox encounters these terrified wolves.
And he tries to reason with them.
Exactly. He hears their wild story about the goat eating wolves and just says, "Hang on, that's impossible. A goat can't eat wolves."
Applying logic to their terror.
Right. He tries to convince them they've just been tricked, that it's all a big misunderstanding, calls it irrational fear.
So the fox, feeling smug and logical, leaves them back.
Leads the still shaken wolves right back to the hiding place to confront this supposedly harmless goat.
And the goat sees them coming. What does he do this time? Surely he's out of tricks.
Oh, not even close. He escalates the bluff to, an unbelievable new level.
Oh.
He sees them coming with the fox, and he yells out directly at the fox, "Hey, fox, have you brought the rest of my debt?"
His debt?
"Your late father," he says, "owed me 24 wolves. You brought 12 before, so these must be the other 12.
24 now. The sheer nerve.
It's astounding. The fox naturally is like, "What are you talking about? He's lying," tries to tell the wolves.
But the goat's ready for that? He must have one last trick. The shrine.
Exactly. The final dramatic deception. He challenges the fox. "Oh yeah, swear on the Holy Elder Kwakwala that I'm lying."
He challenges him to swear on the fake shrine.
Setting the stage perfectly. The fox, maybe a bit hesitant but trying to prove his point, approaches the shrine to take the oath.
Oh.
The dog leaps out,
From under the bricks?
silences the fox with a bite. Imagine the wolves seeing this. The Holy Elder literally emerges and attacks the doubter.
Oh my goodness. That must have been utterly terrifying for them. What do you think the fox represents there? Like the failure of logic?
Maybe the limits of pure logic when you're up against, raw fear and the power of belief, even if it's belief in a total fabrication.
Yeah. So the wolves witnessing this, this miracle.
They don't stick around to analyze it. They turn tail and flee. For good this time. convinced they've tangled with something truly supernatural.
Wow. What a story. So that brings us to the meaning, right? The morals, the symbols. What resonates most with you?
For me, it's that classic underdog story, isn't it? These sick, abandoned
The
animals.
weakest, really.
Yeah. But through their unity, and especially the goat's incredible resourcefulness, his wit, they overcome a much stronger enemy.
It's a great reminder that cleverness and courage can often beat brute force. What about you? What stands out?
I'm struck by the symbolism, too. The vulnerable animals represent resilience, ultimately. The goat is this cunning leader.
But not through dominance, through thinking.
Exactly, through strategy and deception.
Yeah.
And the wolves, despite their power, they symbolize just blind aggression, easily panicked, not thinking critically.
And fox, usually the smart one in folklore.
Right. But here, his kind of conventional logic is outsmarted by something way more creative, more theatrical.
That's a great way to put it. And the story wraps up nicely.
It does. The four friends, finally safe after everything, decide to just go back to their own homes in the village.
Back to peace after all that adversity. A satisfying end.
It really is a testament to their resilience and, like you said, the power of sticking together.
Well, we hope you found this deep dive into this Iranian folktale as engaging and insightful as we did.
It's a fantastic story.
If you enjoyed it, please do subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and like this deep dive.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you thought of this tale.
This has been the 145th deep dive of Iranian Things. I'm Q-Mars.
And I'm Tan Naz.
Iranian Things is where we explore some of the lesser-known aspects of Iran, delving into its rich folklore, fascinating mythology, and sometimes even a bit of cryptozoology.
Be sure to check out our playlist if you want more dives into some really intriguing corners of Iranian culture.
And maybe think about this. What other seemingly powerless figures in folklore, maybe from other cultures, managed to triumph through clever deception?
Ooh, good question. And what might those stories reveal about our own ideas of power, ingenuity, and maybe even our own strengths and weaknesses?